Hello, everyone. We are winding down this semester. It seems like, at least to me, that this semester has gone awful fast. But since there are a couple more weeks, there are still uh, quite a few points to be had towards your final grade. And I just wanted to touch base and encourage everyone to keep up the hard work and just try to get the best grade that you can get. We have really the topic that we're currently on is labor relations. I'm going to talk a little bit more on this video about that topic, and then one more topic, and then the final. So we have on the discussion board number 19, topic 19 to do. There's one more external report, which is 25 points, and of course the final is 100 points. So, mentioned, just wanted to talk a little bit about labor relations. That's a topic that in my 39 years, about half the time I was working at companies that had a union. And certainly when a union is involved, it changes the ballgame. So, a couple of important labor laws that I want you to be sure to know about as we prepare for the final. The first one was the Wagner Act, also known as the National Labor Relations Act in 1935, and that one spelled out to employers what they could not do. And then about 12 years later, there was another act spelling out what unions could not do by the name of Taft-Hartley Act in 1947. And I kind of view this as a pendulum. You can envision a pendulum swinging back and forth when there wasn't, before the first law was passed, the power pretty much rested with employers, and they were doing some things and abusing that power, and so our society decided there needed to be some controls in place, and our government passed the first act, the Wagner Act, and then as a pendulum swings back and forth, in this case the power shifted back to the unions, and they started doing things that created problems, and an act in 1947, the Taft-Hartley Act came into place, bringing things back into line. And there's been some other acts, but those are the chief acts that labor laws that wanted you to be aware of. And the unions, really they started in the 30s with the emphasis being on safety, security, and improving benefits, just kind of improving the employees' lot in life, and certainly major contributions given by the unions. They wages improved, working conditions improved, benefits improved, and the way they would do that, they would negotiate contracts with the management, and if management wasn't going to go along with it, they had a huge weapon. They could call a strike, and certainly when all the employees would join together and not come into work, that would bring about the changes that were taking place. But and they continued, and I would say they flourished really in the 30s up through about 1960, and then actually unions have been declining in recent years. In their heyday and in their peak, they were probably about 35% of the workforce, and currently it's about 14%. And that's a lot of reasons. There's been a change in the economy, and the manufacturing jobs tend to be more unionized, and there's actually been a reduction in manufacturing jobs, and there's more service jobs now. But I think the government regulations that started occurring in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, took away some of the need for for unions. But also, I think individuals tend to be more independent now and stick up for their own individual rights, as well as I'd like to think management has improved and gotten smarter, and certainly when human resource policies are put into place and management is treating people fairly and recognizing and giving individuals the type of recognition that they deserve, then unions just frankly aren't as necessary. So there's a process where individuals, if they are in a company where there's a union and they decide they're no longer interested, they can actually request the National Labor Relations Act, National Labor Relations Board, to have another election to decertify the union. Actually vote and if and these decertification elections now tend to be more often than not come out in favor of the companies no longer having a union, where the union is no longer representing the individuals. So that pretty much wraps up the topic of labor relations. As indicated, I'm looking to have one more video to touch on international HR. But just really wanted to touch base and encourage everyone to study hard and work hard towards getting all the points available here to finish up this semester with a good grade. Thank you very much.